God, it's Friday. I'm so excited that it's already weekend. Like, I know that I'm supposed to be dancing like 2 days ago, but I worked all through the holidays. Welcome to the show. Good morning. I am Tokwe Bakodiga. It's still your view, don't worry. All the dancing is just because we're excited it's weekend. Oh, BC, what are your plans for this weekend?
Okay, I think I'm going to be resting a bit. I have an event on Sunday that I'm going to be hosting, moderating, yes, so to speak. So I'm going to be doing that on Sunday. But I also wanted to share the fact that I had some tests that I came up with, a hair personality test that you can take to find out how your hairstyles connects to who you are. I also have another one, self-esteem test. They are free. You people like free things. So they are free. You can take that test to know the level of your esteem, because I realize that a lot of people do things at the level of their esteem. You marry at the level of your esteem. So if you look at your spouse and you say, this person does not really befit me after how many years, it was the esteem you had at that level that got you attracted to that man. So especially for young people who are looking to do great in life, create good, positive realities, it's good that you know your level of self-esteem and you can work to take it to a healthy level. So the testings are free. Go on my page. You can have them.
I think many people should, because we don't understand how we think enough, and the issues around us are based on what we are projecting outside. So more psychological research needs to be carried out on how Nigerians think. So please check out BC's page and do the research.
Just because you said it, that reminded me too. I will be moderating a panel. Of course, BC got this for me. She was supposed to do it, but then she had another engagement, so I'll be doing this. And I'm really looking forward to it. The group of panelists are really exceptional people, so I'm looking forward to that.
What's the program?
It's a book launch.
It's a book launch, yes, it's a book launch. So it's just basically going to be talking about, like, when you reach a certain stage and want to have like a career change, you know. At a certain age, we tend to shy away or too afraid to make those moves. So that's what we'll be basically about.
That should be an interesting conversation to listen to.
How you doing, Nima? She's tired.
You've not recovered from... the only reason I will smile to Nima is because she just passed my...
Something since I was bad.
No, serious problem.
So as you have covered me, I will cover you.
So it's nice to go out to lunch with YK and have Gary and Iroleya for lunch. Wow. I'm telling you.
They served you Gary where you guys went?
So I usually give Jumoke Iroleya because I'm my only Muslim friend. I will not hear word.
If you don't show up.
So I always make it a point of note every year not to miss it. If I don't even do, I must do Jumoke's one. Okay. But I wanted to give her this year, and it was supposed to be like a lunch with YK, and then we just saw Gary was saved with Iroleya, and everybody just took Gary. I felt
That's
so good
interesting.
because for the first time during this holiday, I had a meal that I would really enjoy. Tired of the usuals. And so it was nice.
There's only anyone that would enjoy
drinking Gary. I drink Gary too.
Eating amala. Like, those are like the exciting things for, like, those are...
We love that.
I'm trying to...
But we love you.
What does
we need to promote our local food, because, you know, I was talking about health challenges that our older generation, our grandmothers, mothers didn't have as many health challenges because they were not eating the level of refined meals that we are eating. So go local, enjoy the meal this weekend. I'm gonna be working. Actually, just Sunday. I have Sunday off, but I'm going to be... It's the holiday I was working, but I had ram meat. Thank you. Morenike sent me her address that I should come and eat ram meat, but I'm going to site right after the show, and I'm still going to site tomorrow. But this is the season to work. We have the strength.
Yeah. Restrictions, so tomorrow. So we'll take it to the papers, but...
True. Let's take a quick break. When we return, we'll go through the newspapers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back to the show. We'll be starting off front page review with The Nation. Major headline: Igboho appears in court for immigration-related offences. Agitators expected back in Cotonou court. Wife's German passport released. 40 refinery licenses not in use. Banditry worrisome, says Buhari. Gunmen in police uniform kill 5 cops at checkpoints. And only 1.7 of 3.7 billion vaccines administered in Africa. I think we should start with the vaccination story.
Okay, so the World Health Organization is saying that of the 3.7 billion COVID-19 vaccines that have been administered, only 1.7 of it has been administered in the whole of Africa, and that comes to about 62.9 million vaccinations. And it's also, he was talking about this because there's the third wave that many countries are experiencing. Most of the countries are experiencing a resurgence of infections. It says about 21 countries are experiencing that. 13 countries are requiring oxygen because of this. And so the World Health Organization is just saying that we need to brace up for the third wave. And that's it. And in doing that, especially for Africa, since we're really short on vaccines, we need to be careful how we move around, remember the COVID protocol and guidelines to protect ourselves.
Most of the Western countries actually have excess vaccines logged, like 4 to 1 person, while in Africa we don't have enough vaccines to go around. Major headline, Nima.
So let's just raise this Sunday Igboho's matter once and for all. So most people have been asking that he's extradited, but the headline in the nation is good and apt because the offenses for which he was arrested in Benin Republic are totally local law related. They are not diplomatic matters. So he had a forged Benin Republic passport with which he was going to travel. They've tried his wife and they found her German passport to qualify and she's been given back and released. But he is going to continue trial today and has to show cause to settle issues that are Benin Republic related. And so a lot of people are disagreeing with federal government trying to wrestle Benin Republic to having him extradited to face other issues related in Nigeria. But I think Benin, as a sovereign nation, know what to do better.
So gunmen.
So 5 policemen have been killed as gunmen attacked checkpoints in Enugu State. I think Obiago Amechi community in Enugu State, a local council of Enugu State. And when that happened, the pastor, a passerby, and some policemen were killed in the attack. They said the gunmen came in 2 Hilux and 1 Camry, and also they set the police van ablaze. And what was even more, worrisome was the fact that the gunmen wore police uniforms as well. But they had that very major. They said it lasted about 30 minutes, and the police, some of them they were able to recover some of their ammunition that they came with. But the governor of Enugu State, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, has spoken and said that he's going to, the policemen who have lost their wives, is going to ensure that he gives the wives, job, make sure that they have employment so that they can survive. And the issue is still sketchy, but investigations have begun to find out what really happened.
Let me quickly take the NDLEA story. On the 7th of May, 2021, the former vice chairman of Lagos Island East Local Council Development Area, LCDA, his name is Sadiku Kehinde Asheku, was found with 1 kilogram of cocaine. He was traveling from Lagos to London, and he had concealed that 1 kg of cocaine in between allegedly concealed them between 5 sleepers. And they tested and confirmed while they were doing the preliminary checks that it was cocaine. And he was arraigned in court on June 30th. He's still in court now. He said he's not guilty. And he was denied bail. So now we're waiting to get the final judgment. They said it would be adjourned till, it was denied bail July 17th. So we're waiting for a continued trial. But I'm so happy. Every time I'm very impressed with the level of work going on at the airport and from NDLEA generally. A lot of work is going on, and it's falling into the hands of young adults, a lot of our children, and we must applaud them for the good work they're doing. Moving on to the Punch. Major headline: COVID-19 testing stops in 13 states. Delta variant hitting unvaccinated Nigerians. Testing fell by 29% in the last 3 months. Federal government cries out as dangerous strain spreads fast. Another COVID-19 news. COVID-19 wiped off $5 billion diasporan remittance, says federal government. We have not stopped Nigerians from using Twitter. Federal government tells courts.
Really?
Yeah,
really?
I'm surprised to see that.
People have been using it on another platform.
No.
Cooking gas price soars to 500 naira per kilogram. Retailers, consumers lament. I join them in lamenting. Don't assent PIB. Fresh hostilities loom in Niger Delta, says Dixon. Union lambasts FIRS boss over staff entitlement plan protest. In other news, cultists attack Ogum APC campaign, kill 2. 68-year-old lecturer, man, 60, arraigned for alleged defilement of underage girls. Lagos NURTW generates 123 billion naira annually. That's a hot topic. And you can't miss the picture. There is the aftermath of massive flooding in Zhengzhou in China Central Province on Wednesday. Baptist contacts chapters over ransom of Kaduna Bethel students. 10 Ogu communities threaten local government whole boycott over road destroyed by dredgers. And after 6 hours hearing, Benin Court releases Igbo's wife and remands activists. So, please, let's talk about this Lagos. No.
Lagos.
What's happening with NURTW?
Let me give you question gist. So, according to the reports, the statistics done by the International Center for Investigative Reports, according to them, they found out that the NURT, through Agberos, generates 123 billion naira annually. And this data shows that, you know, their levies that they put on passengers, vehicles, tricycles, and also on all cars, articulated vehicles, and persons who visit certain markets. You know, you go to some markets, even when I went to do this thing the other day, we had to pay toll to pass. So, you know, and with the report of about 75,000 buses, 50,000 tricycles, and 37,000 motorcycles.
And they all pay
around,
3 times every day.
They pay 3 times a day. So the report shows that 3,000 naira, 600 naira, and 108,000 naira are levied on buses, motorcycles, and tricycles, respectively. And this sum up to about 82.1 billion for buses, 81 billion for motorcycles, 32.9 billion for tricycles, yearly, making it a total of 123 billion naira.
I can't wait for the governor to respond to this, do their own investigation, and see how much is being remitted to Lagos State government, because this money is supposed to help facilitate repair of road, and we need more money to repair roads. So if we are getting billions of naira informally, then we should find how much of it is trickling formally into the sector.
If you want to talk about Lagos, let's know how much of it is made in Lagos alone. Because this is supposed to be Lagos NURTW generates this amount of money. So, for me, how will we come inside to get our share as tax? We are not even questioning whether they are making the money. How does government come in to make, these are uncaptured and unexplained taxes. How can government make it legal?
Let's take the major headline.
Yes, so there were indications on Thursday that 13 states have stopped testing for COVID-19, especially since they heard about these Delta variants that we have now. And I said the data came from the NCDC, showed that the tests reduced from 735,000 to 521, meaning that about 230-something tests were not represented. And the test stopped from, they tested quite a lot from March to April, and now in July, I think it was just about 1 state that submitted their report to the NCDC. So they mentioned some of the states. They said Cross River, Delta, Edo, Ekiti, Enugu, Gombe, Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina have been sending in their tests to NCDC, but we have Anambra, Bauchi, Benue, Borno, and other states who have not been sending their own tests. So, but Bauchi, I think the executive chairman of the Bauchi State Primary Healthcare replied saying that it's not like they do not want to test, but they have issues. They have a problem of funding. They do not have diesel to power the generators, and people are not even coming out to show up for testing. I think Benue complained about the same thing, that the NCDC is not doing enough to support them to be able to carry out this testing. So while we are reeling out the data, it's very important that we support these states to, the factors that contribute.
Human interest story.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So,
let me take that story after the break. We'll still continue with the newspaper review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us, and we'll continue with the front page review. Mariam was going to take the human interest story.
First story is, well, sad and good one. A 68-year-old lecturer has been arraigned in Oyo State for alleged defilement of a 14-year-old, and and also illegal adoption of the said girl. So this looks to me like, you know how we would just take maybe a relative or someone in, and then he went ahead and defiled her. There's also a 60-year-old Mr. Kayode Akinsile, who was arrested on the 15th of June for defiling a minor. He was granted bail, and then he went ahead and defiled yet another minor, and now being rearrested. So really, we need to look at this not just as something that people decide to do. Some people are actually mentally ill. Yeah. They need help. They should not be let into the society because they just go about defiling children. So they have been locked up, and the police and the courts will take it from there.
Moving on to Daily Sun, major headline. Security stalls Igboho's court appearance in Cotonou. Extradition hearing holds today as agents grill pro-Yoruba Nation agitator wife. Buhari's failure cause of his agitation. That's from Afenifere. In other news, federal government begins payment of benefits to deceased doctors, others. And NNPC spends 274 billion naira on petrol subsidy in 5 months. It's ending soon. That's from Sylvia. That's the minister. Lagos-Ibadan Expressway accident casualty now 13. Anambra Guba, Ohaneze never endorsed any candidates from the president. We won't accept Supreme Court's experience. That's from APGA. APC must do everything legally possible to win Abia Guba, as Kalu charges members. Local government polls. Lagos announces restriction of movement on Saturday. Death toll in terror attacks rise to 3,100 in 3 months. Benue, Zamfara, Borno, Kaduna, top charts. Time for political leaders to partner churches on insecurity, says Pastor Kumuyi. So let's start with the payments of...
Bottom Street. So the Minister of Labour and Employment, Senator Chris Ngige, had a meeting with the federal government representatives and the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, and he has announced that the federal government has commenced paying benefits to deceased doctors and other health workers in the group life insurance scheme. So they said the meeting was very fruitful. Everybody was excited about it. And they said there's evidence that they had earmarked, I think, I want to be sure of, I think 2 billion. I saw the figure somewhere, that amount of money. And there's evidence people have already collected their checks for that payment. There was also a residency training fund, which they have also earmarked 4.3 billion naira to handle that. There was also another issue. They said the resident doctors complained that the bench fees they're supposed to pay. So, for instance, if you go to another institution to get a training you don't have or an opportunity to get in your institution, that they request for them to pay bench fees. And so they've complained, and the federal government has set up a committee to look into that. They're not supposed to be asked to pay that amount of money. So,
okay. So the Lagos State restriction of movement
Lagos
tomorrow.
State Saturday, tomorrow, as many of us know, there will be elections at the local level, and so movement will be restricted from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. tomorrow, and that's just to enable the Lagos State Electoral Commission to carry out a hitch-free election and to move, and for ease of movement of the electorate and election materials, and that's it. So everyone should just know, just carefully, from 8 till 3 p.m., movements are restricted tomorrow.
8 till 3 p.m. Moving on to Nigerian Tribune. Major headline, Igboho remanded in Cotonou Court. We've taken that already. 3% for host communities will cause crisis in Niger Delta. That's ex-Bayelsan governor. Let's take that story. Only 7 out of 5,439 medical labs in Nigeria meet international standards. Wow. Cholera, 60 die in FCT, 300 hospitalized in Bauchi. Please, can we take the story of only 7?
Yes, so it's been confirmed that only 7 out of over 5,349 medical laboratories in Nigeria meet a certain criteria. So the criteria is called ISO 15189 International Accreditation Standards of the International Organization of Standardization's Technical Committee for Medical Laboratories. So this is more like an international accreditation, and only 7 out of the number, 5,349 that we have in Nigeria have met this criteria. So, you know, they said they have, I think among the 7, we have 2 medical laboratories in Ibadan that have been accredited. So it's more like a call to the federal government, to state government to equip their laboratories so that at least they can meet up to
Which explains when we have misdiagnosis.
Yeah.
Can we take the story of cholera?
Cholera in Bauchi State. So 300 persons have been admitted in hospital because of this outbreak. And I think this is just local government in Bauchi State, especially this. And then they're about in the Federal Capital Territory. They said they have between 54 to 60. They had 54 deaths, but it's moved to 60 deaths just within the week. In 72 hours, also in the Federal Capital Territory, the cases from 604 to 698. Anyway, the Action Aid in Bauchi State is helping. They've provided kits to cholera treatment centers and about 1,500 kits. And they're asking everyone to just make sure that they are following proper hygiene. That's households to make sure they're following proper and careful hygiene. And also they're asking government and everyone else to put their hands together in resolving this outbreak. So and also, one thing they're asking for, Action Aid is actually telling government to try and declare a state of emergency in these areas.
All right, let's move on to Vanguard. The major headline, you take the story. Major headline, we've taken that already. Let's look at the story we haven't taken before. 4,000 children orphaned in Nigeria by COVID-19. Oyedepo defense sack of Pastor, and Nima wanted to take the 3%
so
story in Niger Delta.
Former governor of Bayelsa State, you know, called on as joint voices with those calling on from the region, calling on the president not to accent to the PIB bill that has been passed by the National Assembly, because at the time it was proposed by the Yar'Adua government as a bill that will resolve the issues in the Niger Delta and around the oil industry. It was at 10% that amount was, you know, was proposed for the host communities. And, you know, the mischief in the bill also that allows, they call it pipeline-bearing community. So when the pipeline now passes through, you qualify as a oil-producing community, is also wrong. So those are some of the issues that are in that bill that will create, they call it lack of fairness, equity, and justice to the communities that are truly affected environmentally by the you know, mining of crude oil.
I think they should look into that. That's what we can take on Front Page Review for today. 4,000 children orphaned in Nigeria by COVID-19.
So, according to the World Bank, so that's the statistics that they got.
Who is taking care of those children?
So the children are invincible as we speak, and they're saying there are already over 2 million children that are orphaned as a result of COVID-19. So I think we need to start asking ourselves questions. Who are the people that, who have we lost? Who's taking care of the children that are left behind?
As well. That's what we can take on Front Page Review for today. When we return, we have some special segments. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So right now we have a special segment by Lush, and joining us is Emmanuel Elijah, who likes to be called LJ. LJ, welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much. Thank you
welcome to the show. It's good to have you here.
Yeah.
So apparently you just got out of a music competition. Tell us about it.
Okay, so I don't know if I should say this again because I'm always tired of saying. Then they say, how did you get into the competition? Somebody, of course, told me about it. Because I'm not used to going scouting or all this competition and be like, okay, which one is going on now? I want to go for it. So a friend actually told me about it, and then I went for it. At first, I was not hyped for it because you know the procedures now.
Yeah.
You wait, like thousands of people waiting online. But then I got in, top 11. It was fun, and I was gingered. And then I saw a lot of amazing guys, and I really wanted to do it this time. I did it, and it was fun. The sweet thing about it is that I didn't have it at the back of my mind I wanted to do I was for the competition. I just wanted to enjoy myself.
And you
Go there,
did.
sing.
Yeah.
Did you?
Right?
But
I mean, you
Yeah,
guys just testify
yeah,
to
you always
that.
can testify to that.
Yeah,
But had you released anything before, any music before?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
you were a performing musician before this?
Yes, yes. So why I'm answering that way is because I've never had this big platform like Nigerian Idol. So yes, I sing in churches. Friend will call me, come and sing at my wedding. Just do 1 or 2 there. But yeah, I dropped something.
So do you plan to do bigger things now, or you want to do something else?
By Jesus Christ, grace. Yes. Of course, yes.
Yeah, so the name LJ, where did that come from?
I think that's self-explanatory. So it's Emmanuel Elijah. I carved it out from Elijah.
Oh, okay,
LJ.
okay.
I mean, I was thinking for some time, which old name were I going to use for my
Why can't you just use Emmanuel Elijah?
Exactly, so because we called you Emmanuel Elijah and you rejected it.
We all know that in this country that we find ourselves in, if I say Emmanuel Elijah, I say, that boy is gospel, he's doing gospel.
Oh, you don't want to be put
I don't want to,
Oh, you
no,
have a
no.
combination of names that are
Exactly
strong
the
and
point.
biblical.
Exactly the
And
point.
if you mess up, how dare you
Oh,
use
bloody hell.
Emmanuel's name to mess up?
So everywhere they ask me, what's your name, Emmanuel Elijah? Bring down the fire.
Interesting.
Let's talk about the show, the Nigerian Idol. What was your highlights on that show entirely? What was the best performance?
So my highlight would be the night I sang Kiss from a Rose.
Oh, that is such a classic.
That is romantics.
It was you guys know the song?
Yes, now.
Why won't we know this song?
You didn't know it before,
I don't
Abi.
like that
Show
question.
more age,
Well,
man.
no, I didn't.
Because it was in our time.
Well, I didn't.
Because I
It
know
was the song they used to toast us.
No wonder. No wonder.
they
It was
They
already
had-
old school in our
What-
time.
oh,
now.
it wasn't. No,
Seal.
It was not.
Seal was not
Still,
our
when
time.
you was, yes, now.
Me, I
We're
did
in
not hear that
secondary
one.
school, but it was...
Jesu.
She was that old.
Okay, but
Yes, so I wrote it out.
let me go to the girls because you know that we had lots of girls, and I want you to tell me who was most lushable, who was the most lush baby, who was the lushiest baby,
Yes, the fabulous,
who was the most
girl.
fabulous lady on the show.
There's only one person.
Okay.
But, okay, let me rewind. There are other people.
But there was one lushiest.
Don't do it like that now. You're putting me in the lunatic camp. All of them, they're all lushful. But then, of course, Akuna stood out.
I think so too.
She had the whole sassy
Attitude and everything.
attitude.
She was last girl standing.
Yes,
She
course.
had this look on her last performance.
So
I just
you
said,
will see
"Very
that it's not me that said it. She was the last girl standing.
It was corroborated.
Exactly. So, yes, so
Yeah.
Akuna.
What else do you love to do aside from music?
Well, quite a lot. So I'm
Tell
kind of,
us.
yes. So I start from music, of course.
Okay,
which is the
number
top.
one.
I love playing football.
Oh,
Yeah. And
So if music no blow, football go
you
blow.
go for...
if music not blow, I play football.
Okay, what else?
I play football.
Back at yourself.
I play football and I act too, but then I've never acted any movie before. But I know that I can act.
Like
So
you're
if we
confident.
if we give you a role now, you kill it.
I'll kill it.
Be careful with that side of the team.
Try
Give
me.
you
They are the acting people.
I'm
But
an
do
actor.
you have anything on ground that you're working on and should be expecting in a
Yes,
few months?
definitely. Yes, so like 2 days after I came out from the house, I went to record a song that I'm going to release.
Oh, wow.
sometime next
That was fast.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
love song?
You're
I was going
ginger.
to say, I love making music.
Okay.
And I just realized that I had this sweet ginger for mixing. That's
Oh,
production. And I don't know why. It's funny because there's a bigger picture, that's production. I'm not doing that. Instead,
Yet.
I prefer,
Yet.
well, yet.
Yet.
I prefer mixing vocals and
Okay.
intend on going there.
interesting. So let's have you
Mixed beats.
Serenader.
serenade.
Yeah.
Do
Sing a
something
song
lush
for
for us. Lush us with the music.
You want drink?
Okay, let's clear the throat.
You are definitely
Do you
acting.
need backup singers?
No, use lush as your thing.
Please, who back me up?
I can back you up.
She's a singer.
These ones.
She's
can help you.
talented.
Okay, so
Help me.
this is a freestyle now, sir.
Yeah, okay.
I'm blown.
Lush, lush.
LJ.
So anything I say, you just say, ooh.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You could have chose any hair, but you chose lush hair.
Hey.
Ooh.
Come on.
Your daddy would like it, your mama would like it on you. Ooh. 'Cause everybody around you loves you when you step out in lush. Ooh, smells like lush hair to me.
Come on.
You look like a princess to me.
Come on.
You feel so far from my baby. You're my lush hair. You're love. Okay, that was freestyle.
That was good. It was nice having you,
Thank
Elijah.
you so much.
LJ,
Thank you so much.
it was nice having you, LJ, on the
Yes.
show, and we're looking forward to good music. We'd like to bring you back for your probably another music you've done.
Yeah.
Music
You know,
videos.
trending, something great out there. So cheering you on to all the success you
Thank you so
desire.
much.
Thank you
so
for
much
coming.
for
Hoping to
Remember
see you on bigger platforms.
And y'all look beautiful, by the way.
Thank
you.
Thank you so
I used to see
much.
Bo on my TV every morning. I'd be like, what do you talk about? Let's talk about. I'm here. Mama, I
That's
made it.
good.
You made it.
Mama, I made
Let's
it.
take a break. When we return, we'll continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Welcome back to the show. Joining us on the show right now is the Chief Public Complaints Commissioner, Abimbola Ayo Yusuf. Welcome to the show, sir. And we're going to be discussing, because surprisingly, prepping for this show is when I heard about the fact that we have a public complaints commission that is just as strong as a court that can handle cases. Can you tell us exactly what this portfolio you're handling, what is the job and what solution are you providing for Lagosians?
Not for Lagosians.
Oh, sorry, for Nigerians.
All right. Public Complaints Commission is an alternative dispute resolution center where the aggrieved can always come to. Because like I keep telling everybody, most of our problems in Nigeria today is because they left a lot of agitators injustice. So if we start going into all those agitations, and try to resolve them from the bud, we might not be where we are today. So that is why there's Public Complaints Commission, and it's for the poor, and it is free.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
But do you need lawyers?
We have lawyers that work for us.
Okay.
So when you come in, we do it for free.
Okay, some
What
people
my
will be
colleague meant was-
listening now and thinking, my own problem, is it not too small for this big sounding name public complaints? Like what type of problems? Any problem? Problems with company or problems with individuals? What sort of complaints?
We solve problems with individuals, private companies, government, states, local, and federal. All agencies, all parastatals, wherever you're not comfortable, you can come to us.
So where are your offices? Because this is like the first time I am hearing
Really?
about this commission.
Okay.
And what are some of the ways that you're creating awareness so that the regular Nigerian knows there's a place they can go to when they have disputes?
Well, I won't be surprised that you said you've just hearing about it. We've probably been underfunded. But we have offices in all the 36 states, including Abuja.
Wow.
And all the states have minimum of 5 area offices. So it's for you to know that we have a spread. It's just the funds. And that's what we're working on.
And maybe proper enlightenment about the office, because alternative dispute resolutions from state ministries of justice is popular, but the federal one,
It's still
most
the same
people
thing.
don't
It's
avail.
funding. When there's funding, you will have the adverts.
Okay, so
And
my colleague was asking earlier that you have lawyers. What she meant was, do people require lawyers
Lawyers.
when they come before you?
No. When you come before us, you don't need lawyers.
Okay, so there are many issues that are, like, you mentioned that many of our challenges as a country has to do with unresolved little issues, disputes that are not dealt with early enough. What's the difference between this and having, what do they call that stuff, mediation, where you have a mediator, someone that hears both sides and deal with the issue?
When it comes, mediation is limited to some aspects. But we go through,
You cover
we
mediation.
cover everywhere. That's the difference with public complaints. It's been on since 1975.
Wow.
So that's how long it is. And I see all of you are shocked. That's how long we've been existing.
So if someone listening thinks, okay, when I do bring my issues, my disputes before the Public Complaints Commission and where the mediation happens, and then you say, you give a judgment, how binding is it? What does it mean? Is it just a piece of paper or just word of mouth? And if the person takes me to court, would it matter that I have a judgment from the Public Complaints Commission?
Judgment from Public Complaints Commission is binding. Because whatever we resolve, we'll take to the court and it'll be stamped.
Oh, okay.
So it is binding.
So, I wanted to ask, what's the success rate? Because most times you see people refuse to go to a Public Complaints Commission and insist on the normal, regular courts. I wanted to say, I ask, how, in your experience within the number of years, while you were in Lagos and now federal, how willing have you seen Nigerians accept the judgments as completely resolving issues between parties?
They do accept, because one, it's faster when it comes to public complaints than going to the courts.
Okay.
You resolve your issues within a month or two. Go to the courts, they are still there for months or years. And whatever we resolve at is binding.
Okay.
So what's the time frame for a case, for instance, from the time that the case is brought to you and the time that you have finished the judgment?
Well, before it will take a while. But right now, right from when we came in the last set, we've tried to move the commission forward, made cases come attended to earlier. But right now, I've given them a timeline of maybe 2 to 3 months maximum. Because
And
before,
the case is resolved?
Yes, you would invite a respondent, might not answer you, because our act did not give us all that big powers. So now with they're doing the constitutional conference, now we're trying to reenact it, tell them to add some more powers to it so they can attend to us earlier. So when we call a respondent and attend early, we'll be able to resolve the issues within a month or two.
Okay, so I wanted to ask about one of the major conflicts that takes people to court is land disputes. Is that so? Are there any issues you don't go into? You know,
No,
so can somebody bring a land dispute, tussles between aggrieved parties, and you can resolve them?
Can't be resolved because there are human beings as well. It's all just, everyone just feels that you're cheating me.
Okay.
So if we can just get them
Any
together,
aggrieved party?
any aggrieved party, we can talk to them.
What about domestic violence, husband and wife, uncle? Can we come?
Well, like I keep telling them, it's not part of our purview, but we could actually still go into it and try and talk to mediate within both parties.
Well, are you not exempted from matters that would be related to court martial, matters of the Navy, Army?
No.
Some matters, do you have powers?
We have powers to go into the Navy, into the armed forces, but we don't go, matters that are already in court,
Okay.
we don't attend to.
Okay, so if a case has been taken to court, they can't come and meet
No,
the
unless
public complaints
unless after the
commission.
judgment you still feel
feel it.
aggrieved,
Okay.
you can come to us, then we can now investigate it.
Oh, so after a court judgment, you can still come back
Yeah,
to
I
the
can
public and say,
investigate.
please look into this. I
You
did
can
not think I
still,
got the
if you didn't get a fair trial, you can still come and we'll look into it.
So can you tell, because a lot of people watching now are probably seeing this commission as a solution to whatever problem they are facing, trying to resolve. Where are the locations? Is there any place in every state where you would see it? Are they attached to any office?
No, we're independent,
Okay.
and they're in every state.
Okay.
Every state and FCT.
Okay. So they simply just Google.
Just go online, you'll get Public Complaints Commission for every state.
How about Nigerians in diaspora and maybe have disputes with a Nigerian in Nigeria? Can they come
They can come and complain.
Okay.
Oh wow. So this is just like an alternative court system.
Yes, it is. It's the ombudsman. It's a practice accepted all over the world,
Okay.
and we're part of them.
Oh. Okay.
So if you have any dispute anywhere, you could always complain, and we have people to attend
Just
to it.
still looking for what you people don't handle. Electioneering. Do you handle
No,
election related? There's a
Dispute.
special court
That's
for.
It's as long as you feel injustice.
You
just
can come.
Okay.
It's only
So
domestic
the
violence
statement
now
is-
that you're not
Yeah,
very...
they say they can still.
They will still talk, they will still mediate.
We can mediate between the husband and the wife, but it's not. It is not
So
part
generally,
of us.
anybody that feels disputes,
grievances.
Can take it
they
to
can take it to the public
Complaints
commission,
Yes.
and there are public complaints commission in every state of this federation. You don't need to pay. It is free. You don't need to pay a lawyer. They have lawyers.
The speaker.
One more thing, please. If someone is outside the country and has a dispute, can the person use, like, do you do online?
Yes, it's online.
Fantastic. Okay.
So they are even ahead of some of our courts.
Yes.
It was really nice bringing you on the show.
Thank you,
I'd
sir.
love to come again.
Okay, so but what would be your final word to anybody watching? What would be that charge you want to leave them with?
Well, right now there's Public Complaints Commission that is here to help everybody fight injustice, and I tend to go back to the basics. We call it systemic investigation.
Okay.
That we will do. I've charged all my commissioners in all the states that they should. Please go into all these communal differences. Let us settle them from there, and from the grassroots, and come out to the top. Because it's not as if we hate ourselves in Nigeria. It's just injustice.
Yeah.
Everybody just feels aggrieved.
Cheated.
And when they start talking about it, you don't listen to me. You're now following now, you're attached to it. It now forms a group. Now that's how it goes. It escalates, and that's where our problem is. So we want to go back to it. We're talking to the National Assembly to please fund us so that we can, let's start from the bottom, not take it from the top.
Yes,
Awesome.
exactly. So we will definitely appreciate the government giving you even more powers and financial backing to be able to support your work and reduce the congestions within the court system. Thank you so much for coming to the show. Thank you for
so
enlightening
much.
our audience. I'm sure every one of them are now aware that there's a Public Complaints Commission in every state that can help them. It was good having you. We'll take a quick break now. When we return, we're going to the hot topics of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So there's a story I heard at a conference, World Summit. Ifeoma Ude shared the story of how she visited her mom's place and there was a fence. And her mom was testifying to the fact that the fence was built by her brother. And she recollected how she always financially supported the house with money. But they were using the money for food. What they can see in the house is fence. What she did is not visible or tangible.
They have eaten it.
So the lesson for her was that a lot of women put their money in the intangible. And when the tangible things are being listed, it is Oga built the house, Oga bought the car, Madam supported school fees, Madam supported food. So she was admonishing metaphorically, build fences and have physical investments. And it rings very true, you know, because many of us find ourselves within that thing. BC, what would you say if you're advising women concerning building fences and all of that? Where do you lean in that advice?
So I think I've come to realize that we all fashion out our marriages based on what we have decided this marriage to be. So you may have a partner who says, there is nothing like my money or your money, it's our money. And in that case, you need to work with what you have. And you may have a partner who says, okay, this is mine, this is yours. So in that case where you can separate whose money it is, it's very important that the woman puts up structures that she can look back tomorrow and say, I did this, I did that for specific reasons. We've had, nobody prays for anything to go awry, but it can happen. And then you have something to hold to. I bought that couch, I bought that car, I bought this, I bought that. Because you have separated your money. So do not feel that if you can separate your money, that if something happens tomorrow, somebody will be there to share certain things to you. It may not happen that way. But if you're in a situation where you have pulled resources together, nobody knows like me now, nobody knows who owns what. It's not anybody's car, it's our house, it's our this thing. It's important that you have an understanding with your husband that as you're buying the tangibles, let's take for instance, my money goes into the feeding, I support with the feeding. As we're buying the tangibles with his own money and paying the fees and all of that, some tangibles are bought in my name, in our name, in his name. So it's just like balance. Everybody feels we are adequately taken care of. So right now, I do not have a sense of this is my money. I don't have that. But I know that there are some certain properties that I have in my name. If anything happens to my house, okay, this one is mine. Okay, let me pick some. Let me choose some and go away with. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So you need to understand the sort of partner that you have and have these conversations. Don't leave it to just, I'm the one supporting, I'm adding money, I'm adding this, I'm buying this, and you don't have it. Even your in-laws sometimes will see, which one did she do? We have that in African culture where they come in and they're like, what did she do? What did she bring? She came from her father's house empty-handed. We have those sort of comments. So,
and you did not come empty-handed.
Walai, you did not. But you need to protect yourself. So have that conversation and understand what works best for you. That's it.
Finished.
No.
You have said it from A to Z.
No. So, but you see, there are cases where...
This is where me, I want to see my own.
Yeah.
So, for us not to get petty, because there's a thin line between materialism and this listing. I recently counseled a young lady who, upon the first fight, was saying, don't touch my chair, don't touch the bed, don't cook on my stove and all of that with her husband. And she didn't even know how bad it was, hearing it. That we don't get, I personally don't itemize anything, but I know what I bought. And I pray, I know.
You don't write it down.
Not even in the heat of argument do I refer to it. But I keep a list of it in my mind to encourage myself, because I don't want to be a wife attachment on the side. I don't want to be a parasitic spouse. But I want, would never list it in a way that it will be a point of argument in case of anything. And God bless husbands who are bold enough to say to family, this is an asset to me. If you want me to run a list of what Madame does in this house, so that they can shut up, because this comment you made is like clappant. If there's a woman in Nigeria that has not heard it, she's a lucky person.
She's lucky.
Because they will remind you, when you're coming from your father's house, even though you carry box, gold, everything, nobody sees it. They will say, you came empty-handed. And if there's a life...
You came very skinny.
Of course,
and now you are
I was a size 8. I skinny dry. So if you came dry as I came, everything dry, of course you would have been fed by your husband.
Of course.
But traditionally we see Africans, they make comments that can be depressing to women. So you have women who, when they do things like I do, keep a list of it mentally. My achievement. I remember when I made partner in my firm and I was able to pay my partnership. And my husband's goal was to pay for me, but I was saying in my mind, I will not take money from you. And the moment I was able to pay it, I came and I saw he wasn't happy. He wants to pay everything for me. I was saying to him, this one does not even know how I feel. As in my head now, I feel like metal, as in 3 women in one body. So it's important that, you keep it, but never rub it in. You must learn that thing. But you must, as a woman, strive to do certain things.
Of course.
You must have something you strive for. So that metaphor of the world where I wanted to go was about the children and parents.
Can I go?
Okay, you
yes, please. I really want to.
You can have that floor when you talk about it.
Okay. So I feel like BC has handled the A to the Z for the marriage. And Nima has also given, perspective on how a woman would also feel when she builds fences. But I also want to take it to the fact, to a parent-children relationship, because we see it a lot. We find the child who stays home with the parents, taking care of them at old age, cleaning after them if they're in hospital. In the end, that child is not even given as much respect or appreciation as the one who is living abroad and sends dollars once in a while, and sends the TV set and builds the house. But that one that is constantly there. And so for me, the message would really be to family members. Let's leave husbands and wives together, because divorces happen. Things have parents and children. Every child has a gift, has their strength, and have what it is that they bring, and everything that every child does is important in building that unit. We should learn to appreciate our children for whatever they bring, no matter how small it seems in your eyes. In the Bible, it talks about having like different fingers. Some are small, some are big, and everyone plays a role. If you take out one, it will affect the role of the other. So For me, that is what is most important.
Let me take it. I like what you just said, but I believe that we are putting a responsibility on people by our humanness. What we see is what we forgot to know. If I finish eating that food, I've forgotten. You finished rubbing my leg yesterday. That one has gone. My leg is paining me again today. I want to be rubbed again today. So I think that even you going through that place must be intentional. You must understand that I've done this opportunity cost. So, mommy, I'm not giving you money, but I'm giving you my service and my service, and have that conversation so that they understand and you put your service in perspective. Because when you don't mention it, they just take it as you are doing what you should do. But they don't see it 2 days after. It's the person that's the TV. We are watching the TV. We always watch TV. We remember that your younger sister from Canada sent us money to buy this TV. They've forgotten how the food they are eating is because you are around to put the food. So you must be the one to now remind them that, Mommy, I am handling this as my responsibility.
You may not even have money to buy the food. You may just be there cooking. My mother-in-law, I will never forget, there was this boy that used to live with her. All he did was play the Ludo with her and play cards with her, and she appreciated him so much because all the children are out, their children are in school, there's no one to be with them. And sometimes for older parents, that is even much more impactful in their life and, you know, than that money that you keep sending.
I'll come back to Nima after the break. Let's take a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with the conversation.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We'll be discussing about women acquiring assets and building fences, metaphorically. Join our conversations by calling us on 081-270-53687 or 091-390-76948. We'd love to hear from you on Facebook and on the Tube.
So this is where I want us to look at it from. I kept emphasizing parents. It's easy for parents to see the demo. But a child that places you on salary and never fails to send you that salary, or a child who chooses to live closer to you, so that in your old age when you need maintenance, because African, we have the culture where our pension and gratuity are children. And in the olden days, people would have more than 5 because they want to get it everywhere. So all the children cannot just have a pause and abandon you. If they do have a pause and abandon you, you will know the difference. I love my mother's mother for what she does. Whenever my mother gets anything, my great-grandma gets anything, my grandma, gets anything, she prays for all her children, doesn't matter who sends what. And I've learned that a bit because it means that I am grateful to you all maybe because you are sending money because somebody else is taking care of the things that you would worry about. So you have children where somebody does something for you constantly, and you count it less. You are not a deep-thinking parent, and it might discourage a child from being the right child. So, now, you as a child on your own, sorry, Tokpa, I need to finish this point. You as a child on your own, know your place. That you have the money to send. Remember your parents. The way the Quran is, it is that you take care of them, you provide and maintain them. Am I available to massage my mother?
No, of course not.
I'm not. I wasn't even available when my father was sick. And so somebody else was there. And, she cannot come and, and put a fence metaphorically and, downplay the role of others. Or you carry yourself in a way that discourages them. You better know exactly what you're doing. And you need to have deep thinking.
I'll take a quick call before we'll not take it back to the family system. Toby has called from Alimosho. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
We love that.
So, BC, Mariam and Nima took us to family, to parents.
You want to take us back to marriage?
Very, very important. You want to still stay on parents, Abby?
No, not really. I just wanted to talk generally. So what I wanted to say is, I've realized that in Africa, okay, let me use Nigeria. It's not like I've lived in other African countries. In Nigeria, we have not mastered the art of putting value to time. And it cuts across everything. Now, people monetize their time. Time is money.
Yes, 100%.
The times you have lost, The hours you have lost in a day, you can never get it back in a million years. It's gone. But because we don't know how to place value on our time, when people give us time and service, we don't consider it as a lot. We feel, well, he has done it. So we need to start understanding as parents and as caregivers, as young children or adults who are taking care of their parents, explain to them that this time I'm using to do this, I would have done something else. It's my productive time that I'm giving to you, which I can monetize, so that they value the time they are giving them. Because I have this, immediately Miriam took us to that direction. I have a case that we're solving right now. It's a huge issue that we're dealing with. So this particular man, had to undergo surgery for a bit. And all through the COVID, he had to go for surgery. They had to carry him up and down. He wasn't walking, he wasn't moving, nothing was happening. And then the younger child was home, who was doing the running around, the cleaning him up, the feeding him, and everything. And the elder child who wasn't home was able to provide the funds for the surgery and all of that. But the problem now is the younger child feels he's not being respected enough. The man talks to him anyhow. The man feels he doesn't bring value. And he's like, I gave you my months. I abandoned my business just to nurture you. How can you talk to me because I'm not the one bringing the cash? And so it's an issue we as parents need to be conscious of. We as in-laws need to be conscious of. So you come into your son's house and you feel this woman is not working. Let that man sit at home and take care of the children 24 hours. He will run crazy. So we need to value people's time.
And like I love where we are. I don't even feel like going to the family yet. Hassan, welcome to the show. All the way from Lekki. It's good to have you back. Something's wrong. I'm sorry about that. But I like where BC and this direction the commission has taken to, because this wasn't where we started from. But I think that the commission of not valuing the intangible is where we are.
Yes.
We are at the point where we're discussing we should value intangible. People that have sacrificed their time. That listening ear. That person you can call that will be telling you to be well, that will pray for you, that will pat your back. That person is as valuable as the one that will call you, that you call and will send you money. But we tend to see the one that will send us money as the one that is giving us something. And the one that is listening to you, you can talk for the next 30 minutes and the person is, that person is also taking something from you.
So that's you've taken it to friendships. Because we do have that sort of friendships. We have a group of friends, but there's one that probably does not have the funds that the rest have. And somehow that person is the listening ear. That person gets you. Your mood changes a bit and she's like, are you okay? Just a whisper, are you fine? I'm good. The others don't notice, but when you are traveling we are going to Atlanta. Don't worry, I got you sorted. That person is just as valuable as the other one that understands, that may not be able to give funds, but she's there to listen, she's there to pick up the pieces when you're overwhelmed. And when we take that, when we do that amongst ourselves as friends, we'll take it, okay, you have a call?
Yes, Hassan is back. I don't want to miss this call. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, your
Morning.
Morning, sir.
Please, this issue of taking care of the parents. I have two messages for the parents and the children. I disagree with parents that look at taking care from the angle of somebody sending money alone. That guy or that lady that is with them, taking care of them, is very, very crucial and very, very important. The same way the guy sending the money down. And sometimes I disagree with you on something. You say when you are doing it, you tell them that, look, I'm giving you a demo, I'm doing this and doing this. No, you don't need to say that. The reward belongs to God. They took care of you when you were a child. They tolerated you. You understand? So when people are looking at this parental care from the angle of money, they are listening. Everybody plays a role. The one that has money is the kind of division of labor. You understand? This one sending money, this one taking care. And without that guy or that lady taking care, that money will never get anywhere. That money is useless. So this issue of sacrifice to our parents is a priceless thing. Don't even say to their face. Don't show them you are playing for God.
Thank you so much, Asan, for your contribution.
I was going to jump on what Asan just said, because in the Quran, you don't have a right to remind your parents what you have done.
No, but we're not talking about parenting alone. No, we're talking about
we're going to
we're talking about generally.
And also not list to them if it's about money as well. So when that's why I said it is the person who finds themselves to be that, who should comport themselves in such a way. You don't have to push your sibling in any situation to have to recount what they have done. And parents too should not have a money mentality, because someone with a money mentality will think that last born
is not doing
enough. Yeah. Because if you will leave that last born to go out, you said you will marry second wife.
They say that society is a reflection of family. And many times here we talk about how our society seems to celebrate money, and we're so money conscious, over kindness, over empathy, over value from friendship. And it is because in our homes, we're showing that to our children.
Exactly.
We're saying the one that is bringing the money has more value than the one that is there, right there, and doing other things. We're not even trying to pit anyone against each other. We're not saying the one that is providing the presents is better than the one bringing the money. We're saying they're all valuable. And when we look at it that way, in our society, it will reflect as a country. It will reflect in the sort of gifts that we give each other. It will reflect in when we're celebrating each other, what we think will be more valuable and impactful for that person and that person's community. When we think that way, when we come from a community of people who are a bit different from us, we'll think differently what sort of thing we want to build in our community, what sort of things we want to provide for them. Now, the part where he says you don't remind your parents what you have done for them. Even in friendships, you don't call out to your friends, after I did this for you, I did that for you, and I did this for you. We don't remind each other. You just do it for yourself. Yes. And then if it does not work out, it does not work out. You take yourself and your dignity away from that position.
Exactly. Let's take Joshua's call. Joshua, welcome to the show from Akomojo. Good morning.
Good morning, Tokwe, and the ladies in the house.
Good morning.
What you're discussing is, I want to take it to friendship. I have a friend that when we became friends, I really don't have anything. But he has this group of relatives that stays abroad. So each time they come around, they want to go to the embassy. I'll be the one available to take them, because I stay in Lagos. He stays in Lagos too. But because of his business, he's always busy. So I could remember on 2 occasions, I left my house from Akomonjo to Water Carrington. I left my house around 4 in the morning. We understand what happens in Lagos when you leave very early. Yes. I went there, we left Water Carrington. From Water Carrington, they told us you can't submit there. They gave us another place on the island where we went to submit. That is one. The other one, the auntie was going back to Canada. And I had to follow her to the airport. In the process where we're trying to package luggages and all that, I had a buster to the custom officer that slapped me in the departing lounge. So, during my wedding, late last year, I had issues with this guy. And he reminded me that, I used to give you this, I used to do this, you've not done anything for me. But when I remembered all the things I went through, the times I'm out, odd hours because of him and his relatives, I just felt, and now the friendship is not as before. The truth is, we don't need to remind them what we've done for them, because we're growing and we just need to leave everything for God. Yeah. That is just it.
Joshua, this friendship issue is a really, really huge one. That person that helps take care of your children, the one that helps you do school runs when you can't make it, and we just think that she just helped me. I think that many people watching this show now would revisit those things they said and those things they did. And even the parents can build the family more unitedly around the value each person has, as opposed to how much each person is bringing to the table. But let me scatter this conversation. Yes, we need to go into the family. You see, all my housewives that are adding money to soup, I want to come and meet you. I want to shatter that table. So I had advised someone, I think it should be 5 years ago. She's someone in this TVC, and she was telling me, oh, money for food is so expensive that my husband gives me money, but it's just like I want to buy that oporoko head. And the money they give me cannot buy, and the oporoko head is one that has the flavor and all of that, so that she's always adding money to the food. And I said, don't add money to soup in the house again at that table. And I told her, I said, The reason for saying this, you can agree with me or disagree with me. You are welcome to call us and put it on the comments. That put your money in something everybody will see. Pay for the decoder. That everybody knows that Madam pays for decoder. This is what she does. Madam does this specific tangible thing in the house. Because what you are doing, he might forever think his money was enough. Even when you tell him, the assumption most men have is that women always package small from inside the money for food. The conversation is not around the fact that mommy is always adding. They believe that women always save. When you give them that monthly allowance, they always keep for themselves. But in most cases, when we talk amongst ourselves as women, we always add. Yes. And it's not tangible. Yes. But when you calculate what it is in a month, it's a whole lot of money. So do you agree with me or you are not for me?
So, you know, we always add money. And we know from when we have conversations and from when the prices go up. So you now want to request for additional money, and he's wondering, but you have been making this now, so why are you asking for another money? I'm like, do you know how much of mine I'm adding inside? You know, so I won't outrightly say to the person, don't add. Because if anything goes wrong, they'll come and hold you up where you're the one that says, don't add. So what life coaching has taught me is to ask you questions. In the next 5 years, if your husband says you have not been doing anything, what do you have to show that you have been doing to convince him and convince other family members? So you come to that conclusion yourself. But the thing I've also realized is, this food matter, we need to be very careful. So there was something I grew up with, which is, if they ask you to share one fowl for the whole villagers, you'll be a fool not to keep one leg for yourself. Even in that food money that you want to buy the okporoko and everything, the okporoko, you will eat it, you go and pull it out and it's gone. You mustn't use the okporoko. Cook with what the money has given to you. And if you need to add something, do it in another way. So, you know, the thing I see is most women have sweet mouths. The soup must be a certain way and all of that. Personally, that's my own personal, the soup must be a certain way and all of that. But you realize that you need to be able to keep some things and do some things that they would see. So you come home and your husband is surprised that you bought something that was needed in the house.
Tangible.
And it shows appreciation.
Buy deep freezer.
Save your money, buy deep freezer. Please go ahead.
I just want to label this women. They are the women of my mother's generation. When their rapper is doing like this,
they are something.
Yes, the women that are doing like this.
Okay, so what would you tell women that maybe it's not?
I have a caller, please. We have Abby from London. I'll come back to Mariam after the call. Welcome to the show, Abby. Good morning.
Morning. It's a very good topic. But what I just want to say is just in bits. One is the fact that as a child, if a parent takes care of the child, the hustles of taking care of the child itself, it's tiny. My wife takes care of her kids. And the stress it takes taking care of these kids, because that's what our profession is. It's very, very stressful. That I have to come in sometimes. So if you now look at it the other way, when you grow up, when your children begin to take care of you, it's also the same thing.
Yeah, true.
So we have to look at what you are doing now and what will be done to us, because we are still on this journey of life. So anybody looking at the way of, I did this for me, I did this, it's just a waste of time, because you are still going to get to that stage also as a parent when somebody come and take care of you. That's my contribution.
Thank you so much for your contribution.
Okay, so how about those women who, it may not be food that they put it in? Because I found myself in many situations like that where, okay, it's the holidays, and my husband is like, well, I'm paying for summer school or something, but I want my children to learn swimming lessons. But I've seen that he's done so much, and I put it in swimming. I put some of my money in swimming lessons.
That's tangible.
I put it in ICT. That's what you are calling. It's not everybody. It's not tangible. It's just in the children. Maybe in the future we'll show. Remember. But as of today, you may not see it. So I don't think I would not advise any woman not to put her money in food because food is nutrition. Yeah. If it means I'm putting extra meat in the soup so that my children will have protein, I will do that. If what you can carry, because sometimes the contributions you are making may not be able to build you a real life fence, may not be able to buy you a couch, may not be able to pay for decoder, but it can buy 2 more extra pieces of meat or fish in the soup. And that is a contribution, and it's important as well. What I would say is that I hope that you're with a man that appreciates and understands what you are doing. Because if it's about showing what you have put out, you will fight it. How much, he will tell you, how much is decoder? I bought the TV. Compare, remove your money for decoder, let us see. Do you understand? So it's not about exactly how big the money is or what it is that you can put down. I'm not completely disagreeing with you because, yes, I know that when people can come and say, look at this pink couch that I just bought, and every day you can refer to it, you feel good. But you also will feel good knowing that I've put something that, although intangible, I see it in my children. I see it because when my in-laws came, my husband didn't have any money, but I was able to buy extra bottles of soft drinks for them and put. They didn't know that was not my husband. But I made everywhere. Those are just as important. So for me, what I would preach is that everybody in a relationship understands the value and the importance of the intangible as well as the tangible.
We pray they understand.
Yes. We're living in a society, honestly, we need to, this is a table that I feel should be on the floor, like it should be broken, because we live in a society where most of our parents, the average mother, like in the 90s percentile, contributed intangibly to the household. Yeah. And they were not, it wasn't seen, you know. So because of the stereotype we're dealing with in our environment, we need to tell young women the truth of of handling their finances because of the stereotype. If we're in an ideal society, it's a different thing. But in our current society, we have a lot of conversation that happen around the fact that women are not financially, they're not financially as strong as they should be. Men are carrying a lot of responsibilities. Men are having high blood pressure because men are doing everything, but they don't understand the many ways the woman are supporting a little by little within the house. In terms of clothes, the average wardrobe change of children are carried out. No, I'm not saying all. Like I said, I didn't say 100%. Yes, because it's majority.
No, because first it starts with the mentality of the woman. You know, when you don't feel secure in your marriage or your place, because you know your spouse or some people around you will not make it count. So I saw my mother work. I saw my mother work, and I saw my mother give up work when we became teenagers. I knew my father would say, I will give up work because I don't want to live in certain cities to raise my girls who were girls. And my mother at some point thought, these conversations are not happening, I'm not connecting with them, gave up everything. And so nobody sat down to write anything. But in the conversations that I heard each person say...
Because your father was appreciative.
You know, so even towards the end, and my father would say, enough of you people stressing my wife. That's to family. That 30 years of marriage, every day my wife. No. So he will no longer accommodate comments from my aunties about how my mom did not, do everything for them when family visits, because she had done too many things for them.
In the past.
So sometimes, but nobody will sit down and write it. So you don't really have to. Me personally, I don't worry. I think when the time of such conversations come, I want to trust that it will take care of itself. Because when you start to preempt a problem that has not come...
No, wisdom is profitable to direct. You're supposed to have foresight. Tonio, welcome to the show. Good morning. Foresight. You must see ahead.
Why see ahead in the negative, though?
No, prepare for everything, all circumstances. Tonio, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Okay, good morning, man.
Good morning.
I'm so happy to talk to everybody today. It's been a while. I've been looking forward to talk to you for many, many years.
Wow. Welcome to
Mr.
the show.
Ajia, Mariam, and Bifi, and Morayo, and Star. I'm so happy every one of you.
Oh, thank you.
You are looking beautiful.
Thank you.
Sorry, I really don't want to contribute much to this topic today, but I just want to talk to one about your family.
I know that one is a private conversation that we'll discuss offline.
Yes, so I wanted to say that the first principle of marriage is working as a team. The conversations to be around, we are playing for the same team. Whoever brings more, whoever brings less, we are working together. We all have our different roles, and we should support one another in carrying out those roles. Unfortunately, that's not the reality of some people in their marriages. So you would not have a blanket mind to say, because we're supposed to play for a team, and you're advising somebody who is in a marriage that they are not playing for one team. They are struggling in that marriage to everybody just hold your side. And you say, okay, just leave it to God and just, live your life like you are playing for a team. It will bring disservice to that woman or that man. True. Because we've seen cases where things went, everything just scattered and everybody had to find their direction. Nobody, I've said it before, nobody prays that it will happen. But what if it happens? So understand the man that you're dealing with. And there are certain conversations we need to start having. I'm happy that we're having this now with our different perspectives. We need to start teaching spouses on how
talk about these things.
Exactly, on how to talk about it, on how, open your mouth, say your mind. This is how I feel. You're not valuing what I'm bringing in. Is it because I'm not bringing in the cash? I'm doing this. Have that conversation. It's not about listing what you are doing. There's no point about listing. But have that conversation because the person may have taken that radio cassette that played in his parents' house and saw what happened in that house and he's replaying it in his own marriage. He doesn't understand how to better appreciate the wife. It's not his fault. He feels I'm the man and you are doing nothing the way he has heard his father say the same to his mother. So when you have that conversation and you break it down, that we are working together.
I'm actually
working this role.
But you know this thing is about consent.
But it goes even beyond. It goes beyond the spouse himself. So, we are talking like they are dealing with just one person. In Nigeria, you are not dealing with one person. What if the man, God forbid, the spouse moves on, and then all you have is the soup you cooked all your life, and all the property the man has
is in his name.
Yes. So you now have the brother to now come and say, unless you marry the younger brother, you don't get anything, and you did not build any fence. You were building soup.
You're creating a story.
What's scenario?
Hey, Nima, you have handled these cases.
No, and we win them. We win them because no court will just. Who is the brother again?
Okay.
I like that.
So
BC is my
I was going to answer to you that, I agreed that wisdom is profitable to direct. So when you're in a relationship, once you say you and your husband are in discordant, say your marriage is not a regular marriage. So you have to, that's your case is not the general case.
True.
In a general case, somebody provides, but you're a team. That's what everyone...
No, I'm not saying you should not provide. I'm saying define your provision. So if I'm handling food 100%. My husband knows that my responsibility in this house is to handle food. But what we do most of the time is that we don't have a defined responsibility. Your husband puts money everywhere. You are just supporting. But when we define, everybody knows this is my KPI. I am handling this thing. I handle school fees. I handle food. We handle rent. In this house, this is how I've analyzed our finances. Or we have put all the money together. We are just before like this. Yeah. Not that we put money together. The next thing I hear, you send money to a family member. And something, you are building house in secret. If we are one, we are one. If we have agreed on a certain way we do our things, if you don't define it, there are no rules. There's no
prayer that I say. I say a prayer all the time. I say, God, if life happens, give me strength. Strength not to fight, strength to recover quickly. Because you see these things, I'll move on quickly. Yeah. You see these things that you're saying. Sometimes in trying to understand your husband, you can misunderstand your husband. You see, some people don't put things in compartments all the time to make it make sense. You can have a lush fund somewhere. You know that in your marriage, certain things are not your duty, nobody takes your money. But a time will come when your money will be the back, the cushion that will break the fall. Yeah. So you see, it's not
one size fits all.
It's not a one size fits all solution. Wherever you are, find your solution. And as a woman, choose your path. The one that somebody is doing might work for them. But the one, and I know somebody that's 10 times smarter than you, she break down, list everything, and in the end, the man outsmarted her. Because if you say
it's not about outsmarting you. We're not trying to outsmart you. We're working on the same thing.
I not be saying the zero.
Let me say something, Tope.
That will be your final comments. Just round it off.
Please. Because, I just wanted to be that sometimes when we go into marriages, let's go into it with a positive mindset. Don't go in guns blazing. I'm here for you. Because a lot of people do it with in-laws. Like, I'm waiting for the mother-in-law, even before you even get to experience mother-in-law. So you come up into a marriage, guns blazing. Remember, you dated this person. And we're hoping it's because you love each other and you feel that you're a team.
So that's where we're coming from. But when you find yourself in a broken marriage, because marriage breaks down before a divorce.
Before a divorce, yes.
So then you find the tools to work within that broken marriage. But when we talk, especially when we're talking to younger ones, they are listening to us and they are wondering, it would work. It works, especially when there's communication.
Or that your
when
mother,
you're 18,
or that it didn't work for your mother, or that your
give you
That's your last comment,
Sorry,
right?
this is my last comment. That it didn't work for your mother because I had to counsel a couple 2 years ago. That your mother had to save, keep, own her own property and separate so much from her husband does not mean that you have married your father.
Yeah, it's true.
Find a way, you know,
And the tools now we try explain.
Exactly.
In case you don't date that married way, don't they do like
Put her here.
use some tools.
Put her here.
Put her here.
Final comments. Okay, so I think that, and I had to stay on this side because many people don't have this part of the conversation enough.
Very important.
So, but one of the things I think in conclusion for this particular show is let's number one, appreciate people that give us the intangible. Appreciate them. Two, have these tough conversations regarding money. Like initiate, they said it on your view.
Open your
I
mouth.
hope that the money I'm adding to soup, you understand I'm always adding to soup because you might not understand it. Have those conversations. It might be tough. It might seem like, understand if you are in the ideal or if you are in a war zone. You might be married and you love your husband, but your marriage is in a war zone and you have to be on your guard all the time. Just be aware and be wise. That's all we can take on the show. It's been a fabulous week.
The show?
Yes, the show is over. It's going to be a wonderful weekend. Don't forget there's no movement between 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. tomorrow in Lagos State, but you're free everywhere else. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Bye.